Welcome back to the Gridiron Expert. Oregon State is fresh off their first 10-win season since 2006. And now the Beavers come in at number 16 in our way too early Gridiron Expert Top 25. Jonathan Smith has done a phenomenal job at his alma mater. 10-3 last year, crushing Florida in the Las Vegas Bowl, finishing the year at 17th in the AP poll. Now they bring in DJ Uiagaleilei as their quarterback, transferring in from Clemson. The offensive line is going to be absolutely solid. Expected 8 starters back on offense, expected 6 starters back on defense. This is an Oregon State team, guys, that could really contend for a Pac-12 title and could be one of the more underrated teams heading into 2023. Today, we are here to take a look at the Beavers' schedule and see what they might have to do to clinch a Pac-12 championship. So welcome back to the Gridiron Expert, guys. We're so glad that you could join us today. As always, please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and of course, check out everything down in the description below because, again, here at the Gridiron Expert, football never dies. The season never ends here at the Gridiron Expert. We are talking college football 24/7, 365. Schedule previews, game-by-game predictions, NFL draft analysis coming up. Anything you want, we're going to produce it. We've got it. We've got you covered, and we want you to become a part of our GE Nation. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the videos, and hit that notification button so you don't miss out on any of our future content. So let's take a look at Oregon State's schedule because this team, guys, is dangerous. And we saw that last year. Again, 9-3 regular season. They're maybe even more dangerous this year, and they have a pretty dang favorable schedule. You take a look. The month of September is pretty solid for them. At San Jose State, UC Davis, San Diego State, I think many would project Oregon State to start 3-0. Again, we're not here to predict records now. That's going to come later. Don't worry. We're going to predict every single team and their record back in the summer. It's going to happen. But Oregon State, I think many would project them to go 3-0 to start, and then they enter Pac-12 conference play. That's where it's going to get difficult, right? At Washington State is the start. They beat them 24-10 last year. The Beavers did. Obviously, playing in Pullman isn't easy. This is a team that for Washington State that I think is going to be a little bit better in 2023, but on paper right now, Oregon State does own the edge, and ultimately it's going to come down to how well DJ Uiagaleilei plays at quarterback, what kind of spark he can give this offense after an up-and-down career at Clemson. They then take on Utah on Friday night, and that's going to be in Corvallis. So a Friday night game in Corvallis to face a team they lost to 42-16 last year. Utah, of course, ultimately winning the Pac-12, going on to the Rose Bowl where they fell to Penn State. So Utah, of course, going to have to deal with a lot of new pieces as well. And they're going to have to monitor the health of Cam Rising, who is coming back for this next year, but some say might not be 100% at the beginning of the year. I would expect by week 5, he'll be good to go for Utah, but that is something to kind of monitor as we get closer and closer to the season. Oregon State gets to host that game, and that's a game between 2 legitimate Pac-12 title contenders and could, at the end of the year, determine who gets one of the 2 spots in the Pac-12 championship game. So something to watch there. That Utah game is huge on their schedule, but it actually does not become a part of our key stretch. We'll get to that key stretch for the schedule in a second. At California, they're going to continue to struggle, we believe. Oregon State won that game 38-10 last year, and they take on UCLA, which again has some lofty expectations, but had a disappointing end to 2023. So kind of an interesting team there, and Oregon State again getting to host them. After the bye week, things get interesting. One thing you should take a look at here, guys, is who do you not see on Oregon State's schedule? You don't see USC. You do not see the Trojans, who I think for many will be the Pac-12 favorite. Caleb Williams coming back, Lincoln Riley there in year 2. We're in the Pac-12 championship last year, and had they won that, USC would have been in the college football playoff. So I think USC is probably the Pac-12 favorite right now, and Oregon State avoids them. They lost to USC last year at home in the final minute. They don't even have to play them this year, so maybe they play them in the Pac-12 championship, maybe they don't, but they don't have to play them in the regular season. That's a huge boost to Jonathan Smith's team. They come out of the bye week and take on Arizona on the road. That's a bit of a trap game, but getting the week of rest is going to be crucial for the Beavers there. A lot of games they had to play coming into that one. They're well rested. Arizona certainly showed signs of improvement last year under Jed Fish. They've got the offense clicking. They're not going to be an easy out this year by any means. Oregon State can't overlook them. And again, we're not here to predict games yet. We'll do that later. So monitor that. But for me, the key stretch for Oregon State and whether or not the Beavers are legitimate Pac-12 title contenders, whether or not they can reach those goals, the key stretch is the month of November. The month of November is crucial for this team, and it is brutal for this team. at Colorado, Stanford, Washington, at Oregon. Now, the Beavers did go 3-1 against these opponents last year. The lone loss coming to Washington, where they fell 24-21. They beat Colorado 42-9 last year. They beat Stanford 28-27 on a miraculous play towards the end of the game. Lost to Washington, and then had a massive comeback against Oregon to beat them 38-34 in the season finale. But things have obviously changed a little bit. Colorado now has Deion Sanders. He has brought in a lot of blue chip players through the transfer portal and just through normal recruiting. Colorado, I'm not here to say is going to win the Pac-12 or maybe even be a bowl team this year, but they're going to be a lot more competitive in theory than what we've seen last year and in years past. I would not expect Oregon State to win 42-9 again this year, especially with the game now being played in Boulder. Something to watch out for there. So Colorado, no longer an easy out, at least so we think. Stanford, dealing with a new coach, going to go through some rough patches, I believe, for the Cardinal, but this is the Stanford team that nearly took down Oregon State last year. So certainly can't afford to overlook that. Washington returns Michael Penix, the arguably best passer in the Pac-12. He was the nation's leading passer last year, had the nation's leading passing offense last year for a Washington team that had a top 10 finish and an Alamo Bowl win over Texas. They get to play them on senior night, but a very, very tough Washington team. And again, if there's going to be one weakness for Oregon State on defense, it's probably going to be their secondary. They've got to fix up their secondary. Not ideal when you're facing against an elite passing attack. So Washington, not going to be easy. And then on the road at Oregon, an Oregon team that certainly wants revenge for the loss they suffered to their rival last year, an Oregon team that returns Bo Nix, coming back for another year, so another elite passer, now going to be played in Eugene. A lot of factors there. Those last two games against two of the best teams in the conference, absolutely brutal. So you look at the Beavers, guys. This is a team that coming into the month of November feasibly could maybe have just one or two losses. They could be just a one or two loss team entering the month of November. It's how they close out that month that will determine whether or not the Beavers can be great or whether or not they're going to fall short of a Pac-12 title. This is absolutely a bowl team. This is absolutely a team that could win maybe 8 or 9 games, but the ceiling could be a little higher for them this year if the offense starts to click under DJ Uiagaleilei and if the defense can certainly shore up that secondary. This is a dangerous Oregon State team, guys. We have them ranked at number 16 heading into the season. I don't think the AP poll will give them that high of a ranking to start the year. But they are very underrated, they are very dangerous, and they are legitimate Pac-12 title contenders, and it would not surprise me in the slightest bit if Jonathan Smith gets them to that championship game in 2023. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and of course, check out everything down in the description below. Again, here at the Gridiron Expert, the football season never ends. It never ends. We're talking college football 24/7, 365. So make sure to like, make sure to comment. Tell us what you think Oregon State's schedule will be in 2023. Subscribe to us here on YouTube. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our future content. Become a part of our GE Nation. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. And we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.